Okay, let's go. We're up to Siman Nun Gimel, Halacha Chaf Beis. Interesting halachas. Shliach Tzibur Bischar Odif Tmei Binadava. What an interesting halacha. Do you pay the Chazan? What if he volunteers? Is it better to pay him? Is it better not to pay him? Says the Shulchan Aruch, Shliach Tzibur Bischar, paying the Shliach Tzibur is better than his volunteering and not paying him at all. Says the Mishnah Berurah, what is this about? Why? Bischar Odif Shebezeh Ein acher she'ein hagan rashai lifshet raglo lispalel. Because through this, by paying the shliach tzibur, ein acher she'ein hagan, someone who is not appropriate to daven, is not able rashai lifshet raglo lispalel, because he can't just depose him. But if it was volunteering and anyone can step up to the omid, then it's anybody who's not hagan, who's not appropriate, could get to the omid. Much better to pay the chazan and have someone who is appropriate and reputable to be the Baal Tefillah. And the danger of not paying someone and anyone volunteering is having someone who is inappropriate to come to the Omid and daven. And furthermore, and it has a second advantage, that if you pay the chazan, if you pay the Baal Tefillah to daven, then he's going to be more particular, he'll prepare better, he'll think about it, and he'll do a better job. Since he's hired and is being paid for this. Even though there are people who daven without charge, that either the aniyim, the poor people, need also to give, to contribute to hire the chazan, sheshatz bischar odif, because even though the person is willing to do it for free, it's better to pay him, and it's so much to the extent that even poor people have to contribute towards that cost. Take a look at footnote 73. If you hire him just for Shabbos, you've got other issues. Paying a chazan just for working on Shabbos is a problem with Schar Shabbos. Now the Mishnah Berurah says over there, even if you rely on the Yesh Mishematir and you pay him just for Shabbos work, he won't see a siman bracha from this, and he concludes, Shenagim lahakel. L'maisa we are noig lahakel. Etc. And there are other solutions. The classic solution which the Shulchan Aruch talks about is that he should do a bit of work during the week. For example, the first night slichas or some other time, and thereby it's considered mutter because of havlah. It's consumed within the one big payment, and therefore it's not just for Shabbos, it's for Chol as well. And there are other ways around it. Mishnah will get to it. Okay, let's carry on. Says the Ramah, "Ve'ein la'odom lispalel below rotzen hakahal." A chazan shouldn't daven against the wishes of the tzibur. V'chol mish mispalel, and anyone who davens b'chazaka, forcing his way to the omid v'derech almus, and using strength to do it. You don't say amen to his brachas. Amazing. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Samach Gimel. Sorry, Samach, we did that one. Samach Dalet. Lispalel or liskaya, even to be the Baal Tokeya. Below Rotzen, Dvein Odom liskoted ba'avur shul mitzvah. No person should argue over a mitzvah. Kagoin beglila sefer Torah, doing hag beglila chiyotze bay. Shahari shonina, as we've learned, hasnuim moishchim es yadehim melechem aponim. Those modest people would withdraw their hands from the distribution and getting any lechem upon him. But the greedy people would chap, and they would grab the lechem upon him. And that's not, and therefore Chazal tell us that it's appropriate to back off, even though eating the lechem upon him is a mitzvah. Snuim, they're praised, they're modest people, that they pull away from it because they don't argue, they don't get involved in fighting when it comes to mitzvahs. Or pashat, the davkim mitzvah tiskayim al yedei acher. This is of course only true, says the Mishnah Berurah, if somebody else could do the mitzvah. Aval im mitzvah tispatel legamre, if it means no one doing the mitzvah and it will be cancelled totally, kagoin hachnos zorchim cheskas talmud Torah, cheskas talmud Torah, v'yesh biyod limchos, then you should protest. But v'aday mechuyev limchos kadei lahachzik mitzvah. If it means not having the mitzvah at all, then you should stand up and make sure it happens. Shari medina kaifen al lanyonim oile, because halacha is you can force these sort of issues. And if he does force his way to the front, you don't say amen to his brachas. This is not considered a bracha, but a sort of a blaspheming. Okay, halacha chaf gimel. Who pays? So you pay from the communal pot. Even though the shliach tzibur is motzi everyone, mikol mokum ein yad ha'oni maseges ka'asher. Nonetheless, the poor person is not in the same bracket as the rich person, and therefore, mikol mokum ein hayad ha'oni maseges ka'asher. But the Ramah argues. We'll see what this means in a second. V'yesh omrim shegovin chatzi lefi mammon v'chatzi lefi hanafashos. You split it. Half go according to the monetary means of the people, and half go according to the nefashos, like a poll tax. However many people each pay the same rate. V'cheinu minhag hakilas, and that seems to be the minhag. In other words, you've got a clash. Who pays for it? Well, there are two arguments. On one hand, you could say, well, whoever's got the means, who the wealthier people, they have more of a responsibility. They've got money. Poor people haven't got money, and therefore the wealthier people in the community should pay for it. On the other hand, maybe it should be according to nefashos, according to the number of people. If there are 100 people in the shul, they should all pay the same amount because he's being motzi all of them equally. So the mechaber says, he's being motzi everyone. Nonetheless, it's the ein yad ha'oni maseges ka'asher, and therefore it sort of falls on the wealthier people. But the Ramah says no. The minhag is you do chatzi. Half of his salary falls more on the wealthy people, and the other half will be spread across equally to everybody. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Kotten Samach Zayin, Schar Shliach Tzibur, over Siman Nun Hey Sif Kafalaf Sheposik the Chetzu Lefi Hamomon v'Chetzu Lefi Nefesh. Later on in Siman Nun Hey, it seems to be that the Mechaber, who over here says that the wealthy people should be paying, over there says, like the Ramah says here, is that it goes 50-50. 50% go the wealthy people pay, and the other 50% is split according to the heads of, according to however many people there are in the community. So it seems like the Mechaber has changed his mind. I am b'seif el Rabbi shemachalik to bechazan shani, and he makes a chiluk and he says that maybe a chazan is different. Ubi hagra mashma shemechaber chozaboy v'posuk shom ka'agosha bekan. But the Bi Hagra says that indeed that is what's going on, and that the Mechaber has changed his mind and has backtracked from his position over here, where he says that the wealthy people, it's their responsibility, and in Siman Nun Hey, where he changes his mind and he actually goes like the Ramah, that it should be that because these two arguments should be split down the middle, 50% falls on the wealthy people, the other 50% on everybody, according to the nefashos. Okay. Samaches mikubas hakahal shenigbes lefi hamomon. That's what it means over here for the communal pot, which is replenished from the wealthy people. Samachtes chetzioi ki yesh svara loima she'oni tzorich lachazan kamei osher. Because there is a svara to say that the poor person needs the chazan like a rich person. V'yesh lef'amim she'ha'ashirim nosim yosim momen lachazan she'kolo orav yoseh. And it could be that they'll pay top dollar, they'll pay more money for the chazan with a nicer voice. Even though the oni could go to a different shul, alkein osuk peshara zois, and therefore because there are different arguments, they make this peshara, like the Ramah says, of 50-50. Ayin hakehilas b'darkei Moshe kosov the minhag b'dinoseinu. The minhag in our community is, says the Darkei Moshe. This is Ramah. This is Krakow in the 16th century. Dal v'oshe noisten b'shaveh. That a poor person and a wealthy person they give equally. V'zeu hachetz lefi nefashos, and that is the 50% of the sum they're trying to raise according to nefashos, according to the head count. V'gam mikol nisuin magia lo kafi naden shevu chetz lefi momon. And so too, in any marriage, I think that means every marriage he officiates in, magia lo kafi naden, you do it a percentage of the naden, which is the dowry given to the chassan, and that's going to be according to that's the 50%, which is the momon. And in other words, that 50%, which is going to be paid by the wealthy people, would come from that side. Well, levush kosav, and the levush writes, when there is no minyan, there is no minhag, then you would have to collect money according to the means, according to lefi momon, according to the wealth of the individuals involved. Ayin b'cheshin mishpat simin kuf samach gimel siv gimel b'hago. V'ayin b'darkei Moshe d'mashma minei da'afilu das ha'poskim d'poskim lefi momon. Even according to those poskim who say that the responsibility is on the wealthy people, einenu rag b'schiras hashliach tzibur shesoichin esul yom neroim. That's specifically talking about hiring the chazan for the yom neroim to possess sfir lehu lefi momon. Then we say it goes according to momon. Ki ashir machmas osham lo yuchlu lot seis miboteim lo nichem rekom. Because the wealthy people can't leave their homes and sort of leave it abandoned. But other times the poor people can go. The shliach tzibur, which was being hired for the rest of the year, then the oni can they can get up and go, but the wealthy people will stay. So in the Yom Neroim, it falls on the wealthy people. In the rest of the year, where the Aniyim can't just leave town, that's where they live, and therefore ein mechashin lefi mamon levad, and therefore the rest of the year you take into consideration the other side of nefashos that every single person will have to pay. Okay, Chaf Dalet. Tzibur shetzrichin lisko rav u'shliach tzibur. If the tzibur they want to hire a rav and a shliach tzibur. Ve'ein biyodem kadei schar shneim. A very fascinating case. You've got a community and they've only got a limited budget, and they can afford either a chazan or a rav. Which comes first? So, tzibur shetzrichin lisko rav u'shliach tzibur ve'ein biyodem kadei schar shneim, and they haven't got the means to hire both. Imhu Rav Muvak v'Gadol b'Torah. If the Rav is a Talmud Chacham and he can pasken halachas, or Baki b'Hira'ah, and he's an expert in paskening, Hu Kaidem, he takes priority. V'im Lav Shliach Tzibur Kaidem, and if not, the Shliach Tzibur will take priority. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Cotton Ayin Aleph. Hu Kaidem. Afal Gav de Yechsar Lohem Al Yidei Zeh Mitzvah Tefillah. Even if it means by hiring the Rav that you're going to be diminished somewhat in tefillah, there is not going to be someone there who is mitzi them their obligation. This person who is a rav and is a posek and he knows halacha, odif min tefillah, that is more important than the tefillah. The obligation in every community to have a rav who is erudite and who can pasken halachas. The kosav b'tshuvas chasan sofer chelik Orach siman reish vav to kol anshe ha'im mechuyav nitten lezeh, that everyone in the community is obligated to contribute towards this. Ve'ein echad yochel loyma ein ani tzorich l'rav omer tzedek, and a person can't turn around and say, I don't need a rabbi. To mikol makom tzorich lisa ba'olim atzibur, he's got to share his burden with the community.